This is a DocuSign homepage. Whether you're trying to send a form or sign a form, if you're a member or an administrator, this is what the homepage will look like. You have some statistics here at the top. You can either, if you're trying to write a form, you can go start. You can also sign a document from here or use a template if you want to submit a leave form. Or you can go up here to the top and you have some other options. I'll be going to templates because I want to write a leave form. If you go to Shared with Me, you'll see all the forms you currently have access to. It's important to note that while the name of this form may change over time, you will always be able to find the most recent forms you have access to in Shared with Me. Once I've identified that this is the form I want to use, I go to the Use button on the right-hand side, and this will generate my recipients list, which is based off of my chain of command. First of all, though, if I have any documents, such as medical paperwork or academic leave verification, that I need to include with my leave form, I hit this blue upload button. Do not include general requests. We are no longer using general requests for leave forms. I will explain later. Each one of these color-coded recipients is a person in my chain. So fire team leader, but this will also represent the battalion XO or the regimental XO, depending on if you're on battalion staff or regimental staff. If you do not have a person in your chain, you can go ahead and delete them. So let's say I'm a platoon leader. I don't have a fire team leader, so I can delete this. I don't have a squad leader, and I just keep deleting. I will also delete platoon leader since I myself do not have a platoon leader. And in my case, the first person I'll fill out is the first sergeant. So for the sake of this tutorial, I will be putting myself as all the recipients, but just make sure that you have your correct chain. When you type somebody's name, it'll auto-populate with their email. Anything that is gray, don't worry about that. It's very important that you know your battalion or regimental S1, depending on your position, since we will be using this for accountability purposes. When we get to the bottom here, it's very important that you update this email subject. So the only two words that you can put for type are emergency or regular. If I'm submitting a regular form, this is what my subject line will look like. Lowercase regular, last name, first initial. This is how we run reports and figure out who in the Corps is on leave at any given time, so it's very important that you update this correctly. This email message is auto-generated. You can change this if you've been given instruction to do so by your chain of command, but otherwise you can just go ahead and leave this as the default. Once you're ready to go, you can hit this next button and it'll send you to the form to fill out. So, in the top left-hand corner, you'll see these approved decline buttons. You don't have to worry about these. These are going to be used by the first person in your chain when they go to sign your form after you submit it. In the top left-hand corner, also, you can see all your signatories. Right now, I just have myself as all of them. If you have any problems, you can just hit Edit Recipients, but otherwise, you don't have to worry about anything here on the outside. You just worry about the form in the middle. The first thing to note is even though it's color-coded, you want to make sure that you use this drop-down menu to select your battalion, and band company, make sure you select this checkbox. The next important field is ROTC, so ROTC cadets, go ahead and put your branch in all caps with VPI and /A. VPI also, please select this yes box. Likewise, ROTC cadets, make sure you select this no box. Besides that, all of these fields, a lot of them are custom. So for example, this date can only be written in this particular format. Type of leave will only accept the words emergency or regular. So when you're going through, if you get any red boxes, so for example, if I mistyped my rank here, it turns red. Just read those black pop-ups, figure out what's going on, and correct your mistake, and then you'll be able to submit with no issues. You can't submit if you have any red checkboxes or fields. Moving on here, everything is pretty much the same from what we're used to with our old leaf form systems. The only major difference is down here in the right-hand side. We see this little white box here. This is the replacement for a separate general request. If you are requesting leave within 2 weeks of departure of a closed weekend or 5 days of departure for open weekends, you need to put your explanation here. Do not submit a separate general request. You're going to put everything in this field. Scrolling down, all of these color-coded boxes you don't have to worry about because these are going to be filled out by the other recipients in your chain. So when I was filling out my chain, I didn't have a PL, which is why I don't have any boxes here. So the first sergeant is going to fill out all these blue boxes, the CO is going to fill out all these purple boxes, and so on and so forth. We have the signatory options for the battalion or Reggie CO, VPI, Senior Enlisted Advisor, Commandant, Deputy Commandant. These will all go automatically to them once they get to that point in the chain and you send it, but you as the sender do not have to manipulate anything down here. Once you're ready to go, you go here to the bottom right hand side, you can hit send, it'll send to the first person in your chain. When it's your turn to sign a document, you will first get an email here. You can either click on this link here to review document, or if you're going from the perspective of the DocuSign homepage, you can hit the start button, sign a document, or you can go up to manage. If you select manage, you want to be in inbox. It'll show you that Cadet High Speed submitted a form that needs to be signed by you. You can also see your sent forms, your draft forms, your deleted forms. But for right now, if you need to sign, you want to be in your inbox to see all pending leave forms. You hit the sign button. This will generate your version of their submitted form. You can view it. If you want to approve the form, you hit approve and it'll go to the next person in the chain. If you need to decline it, you hit this decline button. You hit continue. And let's say rank was incorrectly spelled. I can hit decline to sign. And then transitioning back to the perspective of the sender, if I sent this leave form and this is my inbox, this is what it looks like. I have this big red circle. This means it was declined. It tells me who declined it. And then when I click this, it'll tell me why it was declined up here. I can see who in the chain declined it, how far it got. And if I need to fix my mistake, I go back to my inbox. Let's say I need to submit my form again. I hit copy. This duplicates all of my forms, all of my senders, everything is the same. I can edit any of these people as needed, all the way down. And then I can hit next. And you can see that my form information was also saved here, same as before. And like before, once you make your changes, you make your corrections, you just go down here and you hit send again, and the process will begin once again. Following this logic again, if I am a PL, First Sergeant, or CO, and I need to sign somebody's form, this is the perspective I'll see. I do my rank, say I'm a Cadet First Sergeant. My name auto-populates here. The date auto-populates. Recommendation, yes, no, needs edits. And then I will just click here to initial. If I have any other comments, I can put them here at the end. And then I hit finish. Alternatively, from an advisor's perspective, here, back at the management page, we click sign, continue, and if we scroll to the bottom, we see for the battalion or regimental CO, the VPI advisor, the senior enlisted advisor, and the commandant or deputy commandant. You can click sign, and then approve or decline with the opportunity to provide comments at the bottom, finishing with the finish button. This concludes the DocuSign tutorial video for the new online leave form system. If additional forms are added to DocuSign by the regiment, expect the skills translated in this video to translate to those forms as well. If you have any issues, please reach out to your company leadership and your company S6s, and they will help you troubleshoot and get you moving forward. Thank you for listening.